starve, there's enough food to feed the world. Why wouldn't there so many of us, so there are people still alone? Why are the vessels called peacekeepers when they're aimed to kill? Why is a woman still not safe when she's in her home? Love is hate.
About 20 years ago, I remember, people in my generation will remember, that we were demonstrating in this very Trafalgar Square and in the streets of London against another apartheid regime, the racial apartheid regime of South Africa. We were demonstrating because we felt that nobody has the right to discriminate against people and strip them of their rights because of the color of their skin, because of where they come from. And we felt that it was abhorrent. And people across the world felt the same. And they declared their solidarity with the people in South Africa to get rid of the racial apartheid regime. Now, 20, 30 years after that, we are fighting against another kind of apartheid regime. A regime based on the segregation of the sexes. A regime based on the denial of the right to women. In Britain, for example, if you feel there is an harassment against women, there is discrimination against women at the workplace, you take your boss to the court. You go to the court and seek protection from the laws. But in Iran, those very courts and those very laws say that women have no rights. The very laws in Iran are based on the Sharia law, which say that women are half men. That to travel, they have to seek the permission of their husbands, they have to seek the permission of their brothers in order to travel, in order to seek employment. If they want to get a divorce, they can't. They have to go through a very complex process of courts in order to be able to prove that they don't want to be with that man. But for the man, just the mere declaration that they won't want to be with the woman is enough. All these discriminations are written into the laws. Women have to feel that there are places they can't go, just like in the racial apartheid regime. There are certain kinds of professions they can't take. If they want to go on the bus, they have to go to the back of the bus because they're a woman. If they have divorced their husband and they want to marry again, they can't keep their children because the law says that the man has to have the child. If you're a woman and you want to love someone, you can't do that because the law says that first you have to be married, and if you have sex outside marriage, if you love someone outside marriage, then you're supposed to be stoned to death. That's what the law says. In Britain, you can take your boss to the tribunal, employment tribunal, to say, seek the protection of the laws, to say that was harassment, that was sexual harassment, discrimination. In Iran, the very laws are against you. That is sexual apartheid. That is gender apartheid. That is what the women in Iran are fighting against. And that apartheid is part and parcel of the Islamic movement. All those laws have been taken from the very teachings of Islam, which says that woman has no place in society, that the woman has to always feel inferior to the man. That is the sexual apartheid that is going on in Iran, and that is why the women in Iran are rising against. And that's why millions of people around the world feel for the women in Iran and for the people of Iran who have risen up to put an end to this abhorrence, to put an end to this savagery of the 21st century. Any woman around the world feels that women in Iran are at the forefront of a fight which is a worldwide movement. So on the International Women's Day, when we look at it, we see there is one place where the people have actually risen up to overthrow the regime. And if they manage to do that, which they are going to do that will be a liberation not only for the people in Iran, but for the women in the Middle East, for women in all the Islam-stricken countries, and for people around the world. That is the international significance of the struggle of the women and people in Iran. Because they are fighting against the political Islamic movement, which is a worldwide movement. The head of that monster is in Iran. And we are going to get rid of that monster in Iran. That will be the liberation for civil rights, for women's rights around the world. So come join us on this International Women's Day. Help the people of Iran to get rid of the Islamic regime in Iran and make that victory in Iran a victory for women and people of the world. Thank you.
Why do the babies starve? There's enough food to feed the world. Why wouldn't there so many of us? Are there people still alone? Why are the missiles called peacekeepers when they're aimed to kill? Why is a woman still not safe when she's in her home? Love is hate, war is peace, no is yes, we're all free. But somebody's gonna have to answer, the time is coming soon.